Let's bring Morgan in now, first in the morning with entertainment. And, okay, along with Tate McRae, Jason Bateman is also getting some backlash this morning for an interview he recently did.
Yeah, so he had superstar Charli XCX on their show. And just to remind everybody, the Smart List podcast is the idea where there's three hosts. You've got Sean Hayes, Jason Bateman, and, oh gosh, Will Arnett. And the premise is they bring on, one of the co-hosts brings on a mystery guest, and then they interview them. So
they don't know who's coming on.
They don't know their history. So this is giving a bit of context when I tell you this story. So Charli XCX is on, and they talk about children. And Jason Bateman is getting backlash because he basically asks her, are you going to have kids? And we know this day and age, there's a lot of sensitivity around asking women if they're going to have children or not. So this is where this is stemming from. How it all went down is Sean Hayes is actually the one who said, it's none of my business, but why don't you want to have kids? Because Charli XCX said, I don't think I want to have kids. Jason Bateman is getting into some trouble from fans when he goes on to tell a story that when he met his wife at the time, apparently, according to her, she wasn't ready to have kids. Then she meets him, dates him, and realizes, oh, I changed my mind. I want to have kids with you. So he basically goes on to say, hey, you might change your mind if you meet the right person, to which Charli XCX responded with, well, I'm married. So she,
if I was with a person, I think I'd be probably with that person.
Right.
So did Jason dig a further hole and say, well, maybe he's not the right person?
Well, he did.
You're married to the wrong person.
Then they all start laughing, and he goes on to say, well, maybe your next husband, essentially. So really, I listened to it. It sounded funny, and that's why I gave you that context at the beginning of the story, because he didn't. When a mystery guest comes on, he hadn't done his research on Charli XCX. So that's why he didn't quite know that she was married. But it's the conversation around asking a woman if she's going to have children. Some fans are responding saying this is disgusting. Some are saying this is incredibly rough listening experience. And then continuing this narrative that society puts pressure on women, in particular, about having kids.
Well, I mean, I don't think it just applies to women. I think men might be just as sensitive to being asked that question. But I think it all depends on the person. And I actually appreciate and admire and love when someone knows themselves well enough to go, not for me.
Yeah.
Oprah, not for me. I love all your kids.
Sure.
I love all your pets. I just don't want them.
Right.
And I totally get that.
Yeah.
Being thick in it, being deep in it, I get that.
So just stick with my dog. Okay. No, but I hear you. And, Charli XCX hasn't come out and said, I'm upset by this. It seems like the fans are coming to her defense. It seemed like a fun conversation, if I'm being honest, but I understand.
Okay.
All right. I want to move on to Jennifer Esposito.
Yeah.
Who's, made a plea on her Instagram.
So she's revealed that a couple years ago, she decided to finance her own movie. She actually came on TMS to talk about putting her own money into this movie called Fresh Kills. She was told at the time, make sure you cast a lead and we'll give you more money. And she's like, that's not what this movie's about. She was having a hard time financing this herself. The movie came to the Tribeca Film Festival. Now it's available on Hulu. So this is a couple years ago. Now she's revealing on social media, and the video's gone viral, that she has to sell her home. That the home that she remortgaged to make this film, she now has to sell it. She talked about how this movie's not been seen by a lot of people. There's not a lot of marketing behind it. And she was pretty heartbroken. So celebrities came out to support her. Don Cheadle was saying, here for you, kiddo. Deborah Messing was saying the fact that you have to leave your home in order to give your art to the world is maddening. So she's getting a lot of support. The next day, or very shortly after that video went viral, she came out to say, listen, I'm still proud of myself, and I would do it again. Betting on yourself is never wrong. But that's the reality there if you have to finance your own movies.
Gosh, I remember that when we were talking about that in
I remember talking
interview.
to her about having to put up your own home. And talk about belief in a project, right?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Our Susie Wall is on a red carpet.
Oh my gosh, what a huge day for Susie and for Apple TV in general. They had their very first press day, which means that they're unveiling all the new shows and movies that are coming to Apple TV, and all the celebrities were there. We had a Canadian exclusive, which is a big deal. We're the only Canadian show to be there on that red carpet. So we're talking Keanu Reeves, Cameron Diaz, I'm going through the list, Jonah Hill, Kurt Russell, Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy. I mean, the list goes on. And a lot of people are really excited about Keanu Reeves and Cameron Diaz together with Jonah Hill in a new movie. Keanu and Cameron were actually in a movie called Feeling Minnesota years and years and years ago. So this is a reunion everyone's really excited about. But Susie's going to come on the show tomorrow and talk all about it.
Okay.
All right. We look forward to that and look forward to those interviews. And Morgan, thank you as always. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you.